Would it be of any use now, thought Alice, to speak to this mouse? Everything is so out of the way down here that I should think it very likely it can talk. At any rate, there's no harm in trying. So she began, "Oh, mouse, do you know the way out of this pool? I'm very tired of swimming about here. Oh, mouse." Alice thought this must be the right way of speaking to a mouse. She had never done such a thing before, but she remembered having seen in her brother's Latin grammar a mouse, of a mouse, to a mouse, oh, mouse. Welcome back to Coffee Rhetoric, and I am your intrepid host, Tiffany J. Back on my soapbox, and that was my new spruced up intro. I hope you like it. Trying out some new things around here, but in any event, that was me reading an excerpt from Alice in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll, and that was from chapter 2 of that novel, where Alice thinks that using grant or using Latin or trying to find an effective way to communicate with a mouse. I believe that was from the chapter where Alice starts crying or something once she's in Wonderland, and her tears kind of causes a flood. But in any event, Alice is that's her trying to find some kind of effective way to communicate with a mouse she sees floating by in her tears. Okay. Can we communicate with mice? I don't know. But in any event, again, back on my soapbox, and on my favorite topic, Misogynoir, because why not? Um, when I initially kicked off the commentary on this channel, that is what I started with. And as a Black woman, most of my lived experiences come from that lens. So a lot of the times, why not try to unpack a thing that affect that may or may not, mostly may affect me um, the most. I like unpacking that topic. So I'm back again talking about misogynoir. In one of my earlier videos, I talked about hating on Black women in a very public way seems to be big business on these social media platforms, and how the easiest and fastest way to get clicks and views and to put yourself on the radar as a prolific troublemaker is to seemingly come for Black women and to crank out content expressing hatred and wishing violence on Black women. Um, that's the easiest way to make for a grifter or very toxic man on the make to put himself on the map, seemingly. And because most people who do this know that it'll elicit a very visceral response from Black women. Me myself, I steer clear and far away from the wounded large diameter dick hole areas of social media spaces, such as the red pill sections of the Black manosphere. Teeny weeny, shriveled little short man. And their unhinged hatred of Black women. I feel like, hey, that's unless someone's coming for me, um, and trying to invade my personal space. That's none of my business. Those are their demons to slay. It has nothing to do with me in terms of me not wanting to saturate myself in all that toxicity. But alas, and curiouser, every now and again, some commentary about some fooling that has popped off in that area will crop up on my various algorithms and news feeds on social media. That'll pique my curiosity and have me go take a peek to see what's all going down. And like clockwork, the incident will always involve a Black woman under distress um, in a very unsafe, male centered environment.
Oh man, hey.
Having to swing and bang for her life in said spaces. Um, and again, when I said I don't check out, I don't typically go look at those channels, because when I say someone's hatred of Black women has nothing to do with me, um, that those are their demons to slay. However, it is one thing to point out how, it's one thing to stay away from those areas, and it's a completely another thing to point out how the misogynoirist vitriol um, that's being spewed on what I like to call these slobcasts and on these YouTube channels, how a lot of the time it is crucial to note it, because a lot of the times that rhetoric drives violence, is what's driving violence towards Black women and girls. That's definitely worth noting. Because according to FBI stats and the CDC, um, at least 4 Black women and girls uh, were murdered per day in the United States in 2020. And that's a sharp increase compared to the year before. And, those are the numbers that have only been recorded. Okay. So that number may even be an undercount. Um, and doesn't even take into account all the unreported cases of women who and girls who Black women and girls who've gone missing and has never been found, or whose remains have never been recovered. Um, Other than the alarming rates of Black femicide, again, um, I typically don't give a damn what men on these platforms think of Black women. Um, or what they believe about Black women. I mean, even if it's a favorable critique, most times I just look at it as nothing more than performative pandering. Jaded, right? And that's okay. I've seen some things, okay? Um, you know, Overall, I live far, far from the unfavorable male gaze. Um, I'm in a completely different galaxy, okay? So a lot of the times, personally, um that's the way I choose to consume or not consume a lot of that content. um and personally, I'm unfazed by all the erroneous kind of chest thumping high value fuck shit. But in any event, the one thing I kind of want to talk about, because this commentary is prompted by the most recent incident I heard about that happened in another one of those toxic uh, man spheric red pillarific spaces. um, and it made me think, one thing I won't ever personally understand, um, is why, and I'm trying not to, that's why I said, here I am on my soapbox again. I'm trying not to be the judgmental bad feminist, but there's no way for me to try to unpack this and ask the questions without coming off as judgy. So it's just going to be what it's going to be. But one thing I will never understand is why Black women continue to kind of sully their energy by arguing back and forth with emotionally bankrupt group of people that hate their guts.
Strength and breath, strength and breath, strength and breath.
Like, I don't get why you even immerse yourself in those spaces. You know, when you know what it gives, right? Um, I feel like you may as well be trying to talk, communicate with a mouse floating by on a flood of tears, or you may as well be screaming down a long, dark, empty hall at the top of your lungs. Like, why bother? The epistemic violence of it all, right? um, I've seen clips of most of these clips, for the most part, and most recently, a lot of these clips I've been noticing of women kind of getting into these crazy altercations with men where they're being cursed at and jumped at and cursed out and belittled and public publicly, I can't seem to get that word out today, but publicly disparaged. It comes from various areas, but most recently it comes from this space with these two guys named, I believe their names are Llama and Goat. I don't know, but they have a Slobcast. I don't watch their content, but a lot of the times I will consume clips from other popular Black women content creators in their commentaries on the videos. And there was one popular Black woman YouTuber that I've been watching for a while who was giving live commentary in kind of unpacking the clip, playing the clip, and then inserting commentary in the middle of the clip. I don't even think I made it 10 minutes in. I had to click off because even just watching the clip through a third party, um, listening to them kind of rant and rant and spittle unintelligibly all over the place, it just kind of made my ears ring. And I just couldn't fathom even um, listening to a short clip for the purpose of, research and social discourse. Um, I just couldn't do it, and it was like listening to the teacher speak from Charlie Brown, from the Charlie Brown cartoons, the wah wah wah. Like, I couldn't do it. It was just so angry, and there was spit flying all over the place, and none of what was being said made any sense. Um, I don't get how women or how anybody can like sit through any of that. Um, it was just crazy to me. And so yeah, I've been seeing a lot of incidents come from, I'd say over the past few months, come from that space in particular. And the latest scrap that cropped up on my timeline today came from over there, and it involved, I guess, one of the men on there. I guess he would be considered one of the, and I use this word loosely and very sarcastically. It came from one of the godfathers, so to speak, of those spaces, Black manosphere spaces, and it involved a Black woman, and it was like he was trying, he was trying to fight the Black woman. It was crazy, and also like. where are these spaces and these podcasts coming from all of a sudden? It's like like the I've been wondering also, it seems like more and more of these spaces have been cropping up, and I'm wondering, where are they coming from all of a sudden? It's like these kind of uh spin-offs so to speak, of black red pill manosphere spaces, and these fringe movements and all this propaganda. None of it is new, but you're getting all of these like sudden offshoots and spin-offs, and a lot of them, it's like they become angrier and more vitriolic and more hateful and more just very pointed at black women. um it's as if these spin-offs and the rise of the angry black manosphere disciples, it's like they're coming from everywhere all of a sudden, and it's like they were like sharted into the stratosphere overnight, right? And I feel like maybe I'm guessing since the start of the pandemic, I feel like more of these anti-black women slobcasts and YouTube channels have cropped up to kind of make um red pill influencers out of like these grifters. And honestly, I need answers. To whom do I write a stern letter to? So in any event, I feel like it's just all been very interesting to me. um you have these people starting these just very hateful platforms on spaces like YouTube and maybe Instagram and wherever. And it's like these large social media and podcasting platforms claim that they want to crack down on the spread of hate speech on the internet, but then they allow these men um, to use their stages to enact, again, here's this word again, epistemic violence against black women, and kind of spread this vile propaganda that goes against their terms of service. How, Sway? How? But in any event, I don't watch any of that stuff. It does make me curious that so many of these the people who are at the helm of these spaces and who are on the mics, yeah, I am curious about the fact that so many of them kind of rise to social media fame and fairly quickly. S- and I guess in some regards that can be very concerning, because then you that means you have kind of like large groups of men who are just buying into this and becoming radicalized, and that hate black women and that want to harm black women. So that is kind of very concerning. But I feel like that's a whole nother, now that I've gotten this far, that's like a whole nother kind of rabbit hole to jump down. you know what I really wanted to unpack today was I'm trying to word this delicately, because again, I don't want to seem like um I'm judging other black women, but I guess in essence I am. Anytime you're doing any of these kind of commentary videos where you're unpacking trending or hot topic, it's a form of judging. So again, it is what it is. But there is a part of me um that has a bit more smoke for the black women who continue to kind of actively engage with these men on their territory. And it's like, not only are you kind of unwittingly helping them build their platforms, and you're helping them become these kind of toxic red pill influencers. um you're a, it's almost like, again, what these spaces give, especially this one space in particular with these two guys. you know what they are about. Um, they make it plain as day every day whenever they're spitting into their microphones. They don't like Black women. Um, and I feel like I don't get women who allow themselves to be humiliated like that. Like you, it's like you're volunteering to be victims. You're walking into the lion's den, and to what end? Like, what are you getting out of this interaction? Because all it does is it grows their platform and their audience, and you kind of walk away angry and having been angry and having been humiliated and placed in an unsafe situation. um I feel like I said, Misogynoir sells. Um, and I feel like when it comes to social media fame, it's often contingent on Black women's active participation. And why Black women, or any woman for that matter, continue to show up like clockwork to the dustcapades, it's beyond me. Like, why are you helping these toxic spaces grow? Like, why are you walking into those situations and where these emotionally bankrupt people, their sole purpose is to humiliate a Black woman? um I feel like again, they're the only ones benefiting from this exchange. It's definitely not an even exchange. Um, we've seen how a lot of these men choose to use their influence, and I feel like a lot of the women go ahead and jump in the line of fire anyway, and then will act surprised that they've been burned. And I just feel like if you're a Black woman doing this, it's like, understand your personal power, and understand that you're a fully autonomous adult Black woman, and you don't have to subject yourself to that kind of humiliation. The word I've been hearing a lot around these parts is humiliation ritual. And it leads me to that phrase, because essentially that's what it is. It's like, you don't have to help grow these people's platforms. Just pay them dust.
The
Reclaiming my
opportunity.
time. What he failed to tell you was when you're on my time, I can reclaim it.
It's like, essentially, again, these are people who have no power, and it's almost like every time a Black woman walk into the lion's den, um, and subjects herself to these various misogynoiristic humiliation rituals, it's almost like you're giving away a little bit of your power. And it's like, these energy vampires are just sucking it up and becoming the victors in this weird kind of violent adagio dance of sorts. So anyway, I'm rambling. I'm just wondering why Black women continue to feed the beast in that way. I'm not saying that Black women should not be concerned about the rhetoric that's coming over yonder, because you definitely should be concerned. Because again, a lot of that rhetoric is what's radicalizing a lot of Black men, and a lot of these men are a lot of this rhetoric is reaching younger men, um, and it's prompting them to be hateful and to kind of soak in all that toxicity and go spread it forth. You should be concerned, because again, that's what's driving a lot of driving up the numbers in terms of Black femicide. So it is cause for concern, but I'm speaking more in terms of I'm curious about I'm curious about the women who voluntarily show up to those spaces as active participants. And I don't know. I guess I just don't get it. I guess it's not meant for me to understand. I just wish they they would maybe not do that, and that time would be spent that time would be better spent elsewhere in spaces that are more kind of enriching and nurturing. But in any event, that's me just trying to work through the how, sway, and why of it all. Um, as Black women, we're not a monolith, I suppose. And, when we're grown, we're going to do what we want to do. But it is what it is. But on that note, I wish you well, Black women. I wish you healing. Stay safe. Stay smart. Understand your power. And it's the wild, wild west out here.
What you talking about? I ain't no puta. I ain't no puta. I'm cunning. I keep my panty clean. Oh, come on, Connie. No,